What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to VeVe Investments. On today's episode, we are going to be ranking the best IP that is yet to sell out on the app. And just a disclaimer, this is going to be based on my opinion. And then we're also going to be speculating on the upcoming Hulk airdrop and what that could potentially be. If you guys are interested, make sure to stay tuned. We discuss over 20 collectibles in today's episode. So we just got news that David is going to be speaking at a Blackbird event on September 20th. So I do have the intention of doing a video on that company for anyone who doesn't know who they are, but they do partly own the VeVe app. Now they are selling tickets for 240 New Zealand dollars. I'm hoping they post a full video afterwards. So if they do end up doing that, I'll try my best to recap the event and what David ends up saying. But without further ado, we're discussing over 20 collectibles in today's episode. And before we do that, here's some speculation about the upcoming Hulk airdrop. So I don't think it's realistic for me to list all the iterations of Hulk throughout the MCU comics, but in terms of some off the top of my head, we're gonna have Grey Hulk, and I do think this is probably gonna be the best choice for the airdrop, Grey Hulk being the original Hulk. We got Amadeus Cho, we got Smart Hulk, Savage Hulk, Professor Hulk, Hulk 2099, Red She-Hulk, Hulkling, War Hulk, World War Hulk, the Immortal Hulk, Grey Hulk again, different iteration this time, Hulked Out Heroes, and Devil Hulk. So in terms of the iterations on this list, I think the iterations that are most likely to be chosen are going to be Grey Hulk. Professor Hulk is one that gets talked about a lot in the community, but I think in terms of the one that they just released, which was Gladiator Hulk, I think War Hulk, the way that he looks, falls in line very well with the iteration that they just dropped. So those are going to be the four that I would choose from this list, but I think a fifth potential option, and you know, there's going to be a certain type of person that will not like hearing this, but I think that the airdrop could also potentially be a Marvel Mighty's Hulk. So make of it what you will, but I don't really think I'll be surprised if they take it that way either. So we're talking about 20 IP that is yet to sell out on the VeVe app right now. The first one we're starting off is with Swamp Thing. And again, guys, this is going to be based on my opinion. Now, because today's list is a little longer, I wanted to focus on the edition sizes of these collectibles, how much you could actually get them for at retail, what their rarities are for MCP points, and then a couple other things in terms of whether they're animated, whether it's the only one in the set, and stuff like that. So the Swamp Thing is going to have 2,888 total editions. There's roughly 1,800 still remaining in the store. He dropped for a price of 60 gems, so that's what you're going to be paying if you want to gamble for the mint number. He dropped back in season 5 as an ultra rare animated collectible with sound, and might I say that the sound on this piece is great. And then he is going to be the only collectible in his set, so again, great for MCP points. Next on the list, we are going to have the Locomotive from Back to the Future. So it's going to have a little over 3,200 editions total. Of that, 2,279 editions remain in the store. It dropped for 60 gems back in season 5 as a rare collectible. It's interactive with sound. So when I say interactive as opposed to animated, you can touch the piece to have it fly or sit on the ground. And then just like the Swamp Thing and a lot of the pieces in today's list, the Locomotive is also going to be the only collectible in the set. So we're moving over to Buzz Lightyear, and what I thought was going to be the newer iteration of Buzz Lightyear actually turned out to be the first ever iteration that Andy ever saw. If you guys didn't know about that, we do talk about it in our most recent Fun Facts episode. But he dropped with a total of 8,766 editions. Of the total, there's going to be 5,624 remaining. He dropped for an absurd price, in my opinion, 60 gems. This was back in season 4, so I guess I can cut him some slack there. But it's a common piece. It's a static collectible, so it doesn't move. And then there are also going to be 3 collectibles in the set. All 3 are static. There are no animated pieces. Next up, we got Baymax 2.0. So I'd argue that this is probably one of the best looking collectibles on the app. Just my opinion, but he dropped with 2,666 total editions. There's 1,515 remaining for a drop price of 30 gems. He dropped back in season 5 as an uncommon piece. He's a static collectible, but he's not the only one in the set. There are going to be 2 more, totaling 3 to complete it. And the other 2 are going to be Hero and Fredzilla. Fredzilla is animated. Next on the list, we got Po from Kung Fu Panda. So he dropped with a total of 3,888 total editions. There's 2,275 remaining for a drop price of 40 gems. He's a season 6 piece, so newer on the app. He is going to be a rare for those MCP points. He's an animated collectible with an awesome animation, might I add, and he is also going to be the only collectible to complete his set. Lots of opportunities for MCP points. And keep in mind, guys, you don't have to get these at drop price. You can go into the secondary market and get them cheaper. Next up, we got some big IP with Sesame Street. So they dropped the Cookie Monster. It was their first collectible on the blockchain, as far as I'm aware. Dropped with 5,555 total editions. There's going to be a little over 3,500 remaining. He did drop for 60 gems, but I can't criticize that too much because all the funds did go to charity. This was back in Season 5, and he did drop as a rare. He's going to be one of my favorite animations on the platform. There's going to be some awesome audio tied to that animation. And just like a bunch of other collectibles we've already discussed, he is going to be the only collectible in his set as well. So next up, we got Mirabel, Moana, and Maui. Keep in mind, guys, all 3 of these are not sold out, but in this case, I'm talking about Moana. So she dropped with 2,016 total editions, and over 50% of those are actually still in the store, roughly 1,500. Now, there are going to be 3 in the set, so if you want to take a little bit of a gamble here, you are going to be spending 50 gems to do so. If you do end up getting her, she's going to be a common, and the set dropped back in Season 5. Moana and Maui are going to be static collectibles, but the little chicken as the ultra rare is going to be an animated piece. So I just listed 3, and those are going to be the 3 to complete the set. Mirabel is going to be part of the Encanto series with Reese. Now, similar to the set that we just discussed, we're going to have another set that is not sold out here, and that's going to be the Platinum Moment Series 2 set. And that's going to have Woody, Miguel, and Nemo. And actually, now that I think about that, Nemo is actually sold out, so I shouldn't say the set isn't. It's just Woody and Miguel that aren't sold out. But in this case, I am talking about Woody. He dropped with 3,100 total editions. There's going to be 1,166 remaining. If I remember correctly, this was not a blind box. So if you guys do want to spend the 60 gems at retail, you can choose either Woody or Miguel. They dropped in Season 6. Woody's going to be a rare. He is going to be a static piece. Unfortunately, he's actually just copy and pasted from the one that dropped in the Pixar Palace set, or vice versa. The one in the Pixar Palace set was copied from this one. It just dropped before, and then there are going to be 3 to complete the set. And as mentioned, those are going to be Woody, Miguel, and Nemo. Next up, we got Chucky jumping through your screen. So Chucky dropped with 6,666 total editions. I am talking about Chucky in a box here. There are 2,248 remaining editions in the store, which you can grab for a drop price of 40 gems. Now, the set dropped back in Season 5. This is going to be the more common variant of the 2, being an uncommon. There's 2 collectibles to complete the set, and both are going to be static pieces. Next on the list, we're talking about Back to the Future again, but this time, the hovering DeLorean. So this piece dropped with a total of 5,888 total editions. There's going to be a little under 1,400 remaining. Now, it did drop for a pretty steep price, 80 gems. But I would argue that this piece is very detailed. So it dropped back in Season 5 as an ultra rare. It's interactive with sound. The doors go up, it hovers, it's on the ground, the back part flips up and down. And then it is also going to be the only collectible in its set for those looking to earn some MCP points. Now, moving into the top 10, we're going to start it off with Tarzan. So Tarzan got a lot of hate when he first dropped, and I think that was just because they used like a realistic forest as the background in the promo video. But considering there's only one Tarzan collectible on the platform, he is quite scarce. So there are only 2,400 total editions, a lot of which are actually still remaining, 1956. If you want to gamble on the mint number, you're paying a drop price of 60 gems. This is going to be for a Season 5 ultra rare. He is going to be animated with sound, and a lot of people were actually making fun of VeVe when they originally heard the audio for this piece. But for those who don't know, the audio that comes from this piece is actually the original Tarzan call. And for those looking to complete some sets, he is going to be the only one in his as well. So next up, we're going to have Frank Miller, and this is going to be someone that David speaks very highly of. So he has 2 pieces on the platform, both of which are not sold out. In this case, I'm talking about the Joker though. So the Joker dropped with 1,800 total editions. There's 938 remaining in the store. You can grab one of the 938 for 50 gems. It's a Season 5 ultra rare. It's a static collectible. And then I mentioned that there's 2 in the set. The second one is going to be a Batman piece made by him. Now, if I remember correctly, David on a call at one point actually compared Frank Miller to Stan Lee. So for anyone who didn't know, this man has an extensive background in the comic and collectible space. So next up, I grouped these two sets together. We're going to have the Tomorrowland / Fantasyland poster sets from Disney. So all posters within these two sets are going to be secret rare posters. I spelled historic wrong, but they represent historic moments in the Disney parks. And all of these posters are going to have less than 2,000 editions, keeping in mind that some actually have less than 1,000. In 7th place, we're going to have Vader's TIE Fighter. Okay, so I remember when this one dropped, way too many editions people were complaining about. So this one dropped with 11,888 total editions. There's still roughly 8,400 of those remaining for a drop price of 80 gems. Now this piece did drop back in season 4 as a common. It's a static collectible, but it's not the only one in its set. There is also going to be the, I forget what it's called, Scythe or something like that. It's another Star Wars ship. Now before we move into the top 5, we got Rambo. So Rambo is a large IP. He dropped with a total of 2,400 total editions. There's 600 of those 2,400 remaining. If you want to gamble on the mint number, you're paying 60 gems to do so. You're going to be grabbing a Season 5 Ultra Rare. He comes animated with sound. He's going to be the only collectible in his set. And the reason why I put him before Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, because I do see some people arguing about this. He's got a lower edition size. He's worth more points for MCP. He completes a set. And he's interactive. So that's why I ranked them the way that I did. So for our number 5 spot, we're going to have the Ultraman Series 2 set. And I do see some people kind of raising their eyebrows on this one. I really can't stress this enough. People do not understand the true value of Eastern IP on this platform. We've already seen it happen with Series 1 Ultraman. For those who weren't around during the first bull run, the rare collectible in that set shot up to like 3,500 gems in a matter of like 2 days. I'm fully aware and I understand that there's more on the platform now, but Ultraman is such a large brand to people over in Asia. So in this case, I got Zophie on screen, or Zophie. I don't know how you pronounce it, but he dropped with a total of 3,850 total editions. There's going to be roughly 1,500 remaining for a drop price of 40 gems. The set dropped back in season 4. He's going to be the common in the set. All 4 are going to be static pieces. And I just mentioned that there's 4. So you need to grab all 4 to complete the set. For number 4, I got Jabba the Hutt. So Jabba is going to be part of a set that is not sold out, but in this case, I want to put emphasis on him. He dropped with 4,883 total editions. There's still roughly 3,200 of those remaining. Now, this is going to be a blind box set. So on top of the mint number, you are also going to be gambling for the rarity. And if you do that, you're going to be spending 60 gems. He's a season 6 piece. He's an uncommon. He's a static collectible, so he doesn't move. And as mentioned before, there are 2 others in the set. That's going to be Admiral Akbar and Rancor. Now, number 3 is going to be the Little Prince. And in a similar situation to me putting Rambo ahead of the TIE Fighter, I'm putting this one ahead of Jabba, just because it is going to be the only one in the set, and it is such a large IP. So this is going to be the Little Prince. He dropped with 3,443 total editions. There's still roughly 1,000 of those remaining for a drop price of 30 gems. He's a season 6 piece. He's relatively new on the app. He dropped as a rare. He's going to be animated. In fact, the planet actually has a setting on it so that it always faces the user. And then if you're looking to complete the set, this is the only one you need to grab. For our number 2 spot, we're talking about a very recent piece on the app, but in this case, I'm talking about a specific one in the set, and that's going to be the Ultra Rare, her and the little lantern. So it dropped with a total of 1,953 total editions. There's going to be 437 remaining for a drop price of 40 gems. It's a season 6 piece, obviously, if it just dropped. And of the 3 in the set, it is going to be the only one that is animated. It's also going to be the only one that's kind of unique. The other 2 are very similar to each other. And coming in first place, in my opinion, the number 1 unsold collectible on the platform is going to be Maestro. One of the 4 Hulks that you need to have to qualify for the upcoming airdrop. So he dropped with 3,333 total editions. There's going to be 806 remaining. He dropped for 50 gems as an uncommon. He is going to be animated with sound. And again, like many on this list, he's going to be the only collectible in his set. So I ended up putting this guy first because there's not really any other Marvel collectibles in the unsold pile. And when it comes to Marvel, obviously the Hulk is huge for him. Ladies and gents, that's going to conclude today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. Those were over 20 collectibles that are not sold out on the app, as well as some speculation for the upcoming Hulk airdrop. So if you guys enjoy the content, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below what you want to see in a future episode. And as for next, I'll catch you then.